Wow, putting me in the hot seat. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tess. I have a Q&A video for you today, but first I just wanted to give a quick little recap. It has been a hot minute since I have uploaded a video to YouTube, and it feels so good to be back. I feel like since YouTube does take more time and planning than other social media channels, it can get discouraging when time goes by and it's almost like, what is even the point when there are ways to make faster, quicker videos that might even get more views? But at the end of the day, I just love YouTube. It feels like home to me. It's where I first started connecting with you guys, and I am not ready to let go of it. So I am back and going to be trying to stay on a consistent posting schedule, but any ideas are so appreciated and always welcome. So you can always leave your ideas in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. I'll give you a quick little recap of what's been going on with me. Firstly, I started my skincare brand, Free Skin by Tessa, which is a fragrance-free, SLS-free, soap-free, non-irritating, acid-free, double cleansing set. It is safe to use around the eyes, and I won't go into it too much, but it's just been keeping me busy. I have a whole nother social media account to post on. I am fulfilling orders every day, learning a lot about the post office and customer service, so it has definitely been a learning experience. But thank you so much to those of you who have been just so supportive, sending good thoughts and energy my way, following the Free Skin by Tessa account, even ordering from me. Truly, every order means so much to me. They're all hand-packed by me, and I love hearing your feedback. It has been all positive so far, which is more than I could ever have hoped for, and I'm just obsessed with it. I'm so glad you guys are equally obsessed and we can share in that together, and super excited for everything else that is to come. The other major life update is that I decided to go back to school for nutrition. So basically, once Free Skin launched, this is just how I am. I signed up through the National Academy of Sports Medicine. It's just something that has been on my mind and something I've always been excited about, is going back to school for nutrition. So that's what I'm doing. And I always tell you guys, you know, if you have an interest in aesthetics, if it's something you want to pursue, go for it. You're never going to know otherwise, and you might just always wonder. So I didn't want to wonder, and I am just thinking this will be a great add-on to my aesthetics practice. I don't have a goal of coaching on weight loss or anything like that. I just really feel like skin and nutrition are super connected, and estheticians are very limited in the capacity we can talk about it. So I wanted to have that formal education and just have it sort of incorporated in my practice, but I'm super excited about that. So let's go ahead and hop into the video. If you haven't already, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more videos. It will keep me going and keep me encouraged. And without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the video. I have a Q&A for you guys today. And by the way, I am posting weekly on stories with a little question box, and that is where you can submit video ideas, questions. You can ask me anything, so make sure you're following along there because I would love to see your questions. And we'll kick it off with the first one from Claudia Ray, and she says, what is your professional opinion on pregnant clients and salicylic acid / retinol use? There are so many opinions. Yes, Claudia, and thank you for this question. So it's not a super hot take, but it's the truth. Estheticians are not licensed to be advising on what our clients can and can't use while pregnant. Now, I know there's a whole side that says there's no studies, there's no research that proves retinol or salicylic could potentially harm a fetus, but the answer should always be talk to your doctor. Doctors have differing opinions, but we are really not in the place as skincare professionals to advise on, you know, what could potentially or couldn't potentially harm a fetus. So that's my answer. Always talk to your doctor, and I would advise other estheticians to say the same, and it's not something we should really be advising on. Question from Your Future Esty. I love the handle, and they ask, should I do free virtual consultations to start to build up a portfolio and get experience since I'm a new Esty? Ooh, okay. Really good question, and I have some thoughts. So first, I'll say I do believe you should be licensed before offering virtual consultations, even if you're thinking they're free and I'm going to be licensed, what is the harm? I do believe you should really be licensed and even have some experience working hands-on before offering virtual consultations. I know there's also this whole gray area of people who are influencers online who are offering skincare advice anyway, and they have the demand from their audience, so they think, I might as well just offer this as a service and make some money. It is a gray area, but I really believe you should be licensed and you should be a professional if you are advising on skincare. The next thing I will say is that I know it might seem maybe easier to offer virtual consultations in place of hands-on, but I wouldn't think of it as just the easier way to be an esthetician. There are a lot of challenges involved when you can't see the skin close up, you're not working on it, you don't have the ability to offer extractions or peels or a way to, you know, get your clients those fast results. So they really have to trust you, and you do have to give them results or you won't have a business. So I do think that in-person experience is super underrated and undervalued, and I think had it not been for those 2.5 years I was working in spas, if I didn't have that experience, I wouldn't be as successful as I am now. I learned so much working with people and working hands-on and seeing skin and working on skin. And I know it is tempting to do everything virtually now, but I would make sure before you step into that role, you have a good idea of how different skin types respond to treatments. And I just think that hands-on experience is not to be taken for granted. It really is important, and I think I'm, again, able to do what I do now successfully because I understand what skin is like in person. On to the topic of, should a licensed professional or somebody who is newer offer free services? I think there's pros and cons. So pros would be definitely building your books, and I do mentor a lot of newer esties, and they say, you know, I want to be a virtual esthetician, but how do I even get started? Now, getting those before and after photos are so important. I can't tell you how many clients tell me, I came to you because I saw your results and I knew you could help me because I saw somebody else who, you know, looked like me or had a similar situation, and basically it gained their trust, and that's what brought them in. So you want to get those before and afters, and I think that can be a great reason to have a lower price or take people for free in the beginning, because you really want to get those photos. And even having like 3 to 5 people that you've worked with and gotten results, you can make testimonials out of that. You can, again, get their before and afters, and once you have those 5 people, they will probably tell their mom and their sister and their friends if they got a great result from you. So that is the pro of having a lower barrier to entry or a low or no cost upfront for your clients. Now, I do think there can be some cons to offering free services or really discounted services. So I think you just have to be careful, and maybe you would want to choose people that you know and trust. Some of the cons would be that I think people perceive our prices as value. So my prices are now not low. My virtual consultation cost is $250, and I slowly had to keep raising it from $50 where I started about a year and a half ago. That was my initial fee for the consultation, and as demand kept growing and I came to realize how much time and effort goes into taking on a new client, not only talking them in that hour, but also coming up with a treatment plan and then having my communication open for that client to reach out as they need to do on their skin journey. We do have follow-up visits as well, but I also understand the cost of taking on somebody new. It takes, you know, my time and my energy, which is valuable, and because I specialize in virtual aesthetics, it is my niche and it's all I do all day, every day, I am able to charge a higher amount. So I say this because when you charge $0, you're getting those clients who don't have to think about, are they willing to invest the time and energy to really see this process through? If people pay nothing to work with you, they may just think, you know, this isn't super serious. I can kind of just, you know, put in what I want to put in when it is convenient. And you don't want that as a professional. You want people who are fully committed to you, fully dedicated, and also willing to invest in products and put in the work to get those results. You will not get any kind of result in the virtual space if your client is just buying whatever and using it whenever. It's hugely important to stress the importance of home care, and you want those clients who are fully committed. Favorite tinted SPF. Okay, hands down, the one I'm wearing right now. This is my go-to foundation. It is the Jan Marini Mineral SPF. The tint is gorgeous. It is very glowy, very hydrating, so I think it's ideal for normal to dry skin types. All skin types can wear it, but it's definitely a more hydrating feel and nice and glowy, which I love. And if you're somebody who worries about an SPF or makeup exacerbating fine lines, it's a really, really good one. I'm obsessed with all things Jan Marini, so that has been my obsession. PCA also makes a great one as well, and I also love Neova, so I'll link those below. But currently, just super obsessed with Jan Marini. Ida Turner says, recommendations for back acne. Okay, I've been getting this question a lot lately, and my favorite product for back acne is the Glymed Plus Skin Wash. It knocks Bacne out. Use it 2 to 3 times a week. You get benzoyl peroxide in the cleanser. You also get very gentle exfoliating beads. So the benzoyl peroxide works to get in the follicle and oxygenate that bacteria, and then the physical exfoliant sloughs off any dead skin cells building up, which is what clogs the follicle. And one thing I will stress is you want to make a conscious effort to wash your back there. So I use the skin wash pretty regularly when I was experiencing back acne, and it was gone after a couple of weeks. Now I just work to maintain that area, so I might use one of my other Glymed cleansers or use the skin wash when needed, maybe once a week. You can also use it under the armpits, and it eliminates odor very, very well. But I would definitely stress making an effort to cleanse your back and using acne fighting ingredients. It is an area that's hard to reach. One little trick I have recently discovered is I'll take my Foreo and put my cleanser on it, and with the Foreo I'll reach back there, and it's just a little bit easier to maneuver than just your hand. your hand works just fine. You just gotta make sure to stretch a little bit and really get back there. If you wear sports bras or like to work out, it's just something you want to be more conscious of, because that fabric, that heat, and that sweat is what combined will break the skin on your back out. Also, be sure to use the skin wash after you have rinsed out any hair product. I'm also very careful now of how I rinse out my hair after I have washed it, because I used to just let all the conditioner slide down my back, which is what is going to clog the skin. So now I kind of wring my hair out to the side. I make sure to get all the residue out, and I try to keep my hair and my skin as separate as I possibly can, and I will cleanse my back after I've washed all that hair product out. So make sure you do that last, and same goes for your skin. Wash your face after any hair care. Ada Turner also asks, are you against Ulta skincare products? Why or why not? Putting me in the hot seat. So I do have a strong opinion about this, and I know everyone may not agree. I know this whole thing also came out recently where the FDA said we do not put over-the-counter products or products at Ulta and Sephora in any different category than so-called professional product. And ever since then, I think there's been, you know, all this backlash against professional brands. And to me, it's less about what the FDA says, like what we call professional versus over the counter, and more about the results and where these brands are putting their money. I do believe most brands at Ulta and Sephora are putting their money into marketing, branding, influencer outreach, collaborations, this kind of thing. Whereas when we're talking about a Glymed Plus, a Jan Marini, and it's clinical, these are brands that are very invested in results. They're at the cutting edge of skincare research and technology. They all compete with each other to get the best results in independent studies and outperform each other. So it's just a different consumer interest level. Whereas people who are shopping at Ulta and Sephora, yeah, they want results, but typically these clients are more impressed by marketing terms, branding, and packaging. And I think as estheticians, we just want the best for our clients. I never want to waste anybody's time or money. I know what it's like to go into an Ulta and, you know, feel like I've tried everything and just see my skin get worse and worse. So I'm personally just interested in offering my clients the best of the best. And I also feel like from a price point standpoint, a lot of times the products at Ulta aren't much cheaper than, you know, really great quality brands such as a Glymed Plus. And I think really what's going to save people money in the end anyway is the result and just buying that product once versus having to try a million things. So I think for the price point and as far as getting people results, I am still on team professional skincare. Jada Turner also asks, how do you feel about CeraVe cleanser? So yeah, kind of an unpopular opinion, and the only place I get my opinion is from what I see from clients. So like it's really just the data and the results that have shown me a lot of people on CeraVe do not have healthy skin. And I understand this might be a little bit biased because the people who are coming to me have chronic problems with their skin. So it's hard to say. I've never tried anything from CeraVe. All I know is that I see a lot of people on CeraVe. When I get them on a higher quality product, a lot of these issues resolve. I think it may also be in part to do with some of the actives that are in their cleansers that are designed to be daily use products when maybe they should be used less. I'm not really sure, but And I also don't know if the formula has changed. I know Hyra made the brand really, really popular. Since then, it has only exploded. It is considered the #1 dermatologist recommended skincare brand, but at the same time, I see a lot of people having issues just with the cleansers alone, and when I get them on higher quality product, those issues subside, that inflammation decreases. I also think this is a brand that is intended to be used alongside prescription medications, and it's just simply designed to not interfere while derms are recommending prescription topicals. This is also a reason I felt really compelled to create my own gentle cleansers that are designed to reinforce the barrier, that are made with high quality ingredients. And I felt like Cerave has been the go-to within the fragrance-free cleanser category, and I really wanted to show my clients and show people something else that was high quality and fragrance-free and not going to disrupt their topicals or other products I might recommend for their conditions, but at the same time that really work to heal the barrier and heal the skin. And I feel like that was kind of Cerave's MO when they first started. I don't know what's going on, but I will tell you, I see a lot of issues with people who are on Cerave, and I know a lot of people would back that up and say they haven't had a good experience with the product. So I don't know if something has changed. I'm not too sure. Sienna Fuentes asks, what platform do you use to edit your YouTube videos? I use iMovie. I know it's old school and most people are using Final Cut Pro, but I never invested in it. I never took the time to learn that software, and iMovie is very user-friendly, and I think for the purpose of my videos, I'm not trying to be a fancy director. All I basically need to do is like cut videos, maybe adjust the sound. So Final Cut Pro, if you can invest the time into it, most people will tell you they love it and it's awesome. If you are technically challenged like me and just like something super easy, I would say iMovie is a great way to go, and it's free. Kate Michele Skin says, I'm in SD school and I feel like my instructor doesn't answer my questions. Any advice? Gosh, that's tough, you know, and it's hard to say. There may be another reason. It may be worth scheduling some time with her to ask why. It simply could be that she doesn't know the answers, and maybe, you know, she feels embarrassed that she doesn't know. That is just my guess and the only reason I could think of as to why she doesn't want to help. And unfortunately, sometimes the instructors in these schools are just there to collect a paycheck. You know, they may not really specialize in skin. It may not be something they're studying super closely, and it can be hard when you contrast that with a group of students who really want to learn and understand skin and all of its complexities. And it's confusing, believe me. Like, even being in the industry for a number of years now, for 4 years now, a lot of things still confuse me. You hear conflicting opinions, so it can be really hard to know for sure, and maybe the educator is just a little bit unsure themselves. But I'm so sorry that's been your experience. Last question is also from Kate Michele Skin. She says, I'm in SD school right now. Where do you go for continuing education after school? Yes, okay, I've been getting a lot of questions about classes and what I recommend for continuing education. So I have a few. I'll also link them in the description box. I almost said show notes because I'm in podcast mode a number of days a week. So I'll tell you my faves. #1, I think especially for ingredients or lymphatic drainage, she's a really great one. She knows her stuff. She has been like an SD mom to me over the years, and she's great. She's also a massage therapist. She's Cedesco certified, and her name is Michele Phelan. She owns Concepts Institute of Advanced Aesthetics. She has a lot of classes online as well as in person. So lymphatic drainage, ingredients, she's really, really great at ingredients. chemical peels. She also has other classes. I'm sorry, I can't remember them all, but those would be things to see Michele for, and can't recommend her enough. She's so nice. You guys rave about her, so I love that, and I'm happy to support her. Joelle Lee is another really important name in our industry. She focuses her education on treating skin of color, which we simply don't get enough education on in school, and it can be a rude awakening once you're out in the real world. You will be seeing people from all walks of life, and we should be trained on how to treat everyone equally, but unfortunately we're not. And I think because estheticians may be lacking that education, they can feel scared of treating skin of color, like they may mess something up or cause more hyperpigmentation, and something you just want to spend more time on and get more comfortable with. So Joelle Lee is great for that. She also teaches a private labeling course, which I took myself, and it really helped me prepare to launch Free Skin by Tessa. And I told Joelle that she really was a big part of my journey, and yeah, I learned a lot through her class. It's very technical, and it's just a great course to take if you're thinking about making product, because there are a lot of headaches that you could potentially avoid. So Joelle Lee's private labeling course if you are thinking about making your own skincare products. Acne. My go-to in the biz for acne is definitely Douglas Preston. He's been a great mentor to me. I see him personally for my extractions. I don't go, as often as I used to when I was really struggling with acne and it was kind of in its peak. Now I'll go maybe once every 2 months or so, but Douglas knows acne inside and out better than anyone in the business. He has a couple of courses, I think, on acne. They're so in-depth. They're very real life applicable. So I highly, highly recommend. He also makes an extractor, which is one of the reasons among many that I love going to see him. Is this thing gets the complete infection out. I don't know if you've ever had extractions and felt like you broke out more the next day, and that's because the esthetician did not get the full infection out of the follicle. So Douglas's tool does take a little bit of training, but it gets deeper, and if you can master it, you will have no problem getting clients, because that thing is the solution your acne clients want. He also teaches a bunch of business classes, and I know there are a lot of like 6-figure programs. Douglas makes beyond 6 figures. He's been in the business over 40 years. He really knows what he's doing. Not to say other people don't, but I feel like that term can get thrown around a lot, and sometimes there's some skepticism if these people offering these courses are really, making what they say they are. And Douglas is just somebody I really, really trust, and he's very upfront about the fact that he is a business person, but I also trust him with my whole heart. He feels like family, and he's not somebody who would ever scam or feel good scamming estheticians. So he's a great one. He offers in-person classes a couple times a year, and he also offers courses online. Thirdly, Aliesh Pierce. Aliesh is a legend. She has been on my podcast. She actually taught the hyperpigmentation chapter in the Milady textbook, so she knows what she's talking about. I recommend Aliesh for couple things. Ayurveda, if you're into like Ayurveda, ancient practices, and skincare, and more of a holistic view on skin, Aliesh is your go-to. She will turn your day around just like because of who she is. She's so warm, she's so nice, so comforting, really cares about estheticians. I love her. She's such a nice, sweet gem in this world. She also teaches hyperpigmentation courses and a chemical peel class, I believe, and possibly some other things. But Aliesh is your go-to for hyperpigmentation, Ayurveda, and chemical peels. Lastly, podcasts. Podcasts are something you should definitely take advantage of. They are free and you can listen while you're doing anything, driving to school or work. I like to throw them on when I'm taking a shower or doing chores, and it just makes it fun and I'm learning something while I am spending my time on these tasks. So obviously I have the Treatment Room podcast and I do work very, very hard. A lot of hours go into that podcast and putting out weekly episodes, interviewing guests that I know you guys will find interesting. So make sure you check that out. My friend Ageless Ashley also has a podcast as well. I love just her tone is very soothing. She has very interesting podcast topics and guests. She also has a nutrition background and she's been a big influence to me, so I love her episodes that focus on nutrition. Also Rianne, the master esthetician, who comes out with some fire Instagram posts, a lot of myth busting. She just came out with a podcast and I'm trying to hype her up because she's a big deal, and it's hard to grow a podcast from ground zero. So I'll also link her podcast. She's obviously amazing. And yeah, those are great resources. Also, Glymed Plus has a podcast, which is very informative. And I would say make the most of professional brands that offer free education, or any brands that you work with personally as an esthetician. Take advantage of the information they put out there online. So for me, for example, I work with Glymed, I work with Is Clinical, and I work with Jan Marini. They all have their own websites with webinars, videos, education tabs. Is Clinical and Glymed are really, really good at this. They have tons of free resources, videos you can watch, podcasts, all kinds of stuff. And Jan Marini, of course, who's been a guest on my podcast, I think 3 times now. Her episodes are always extremely informative, and you guys love those and say those are like your favorite episodes ever. I'm going to wrap up the video here. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Thank you for all of the likes, comments, shares. It goes a long way for me. Please let me know what video you would like to see next. It will keep me motivated and keep me going. Love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video.